Hello guys, this is Shar. Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for returning. Now, this short video is about your girl Karen Huger. Now, I wasn't even going to talk about this story because I really didn't think they was going to throw the book at your girl. I didn't think they was going to throw the book at the Grand Dame. You know what I mean? I just didn't because she's been down this road before, no pun intended. You know, she's been down this road a couple of times. To be exact, a total of 4 DUIs. Okay, a total of 4 DUIs. And I'm assuming this is why the judge really wanted to make an example out of her. So she, if nothing else, really can learn her lesson and really get some help. Apparently, all these other times when they kind of just gave her a slap on the wrist, she didn't really go and get any official rehab. You know what I'm saying? And I heard conflicting stories of she got 1 year, she got 2 years, until I ended up coming across the local news out there in the Potomac area, Washington, D.C., Potomac area, where they are reporting that she officially got 1 year sentence. Now, I am being told by, just attorneys that she could do less than the 12 months and maybe get out within 5 to 6 months for good behavior or things like that. But, that's yet to be seen. And I do have a clip from the local news out there. But before that, I just wanted to go over some of the things that the reporters were saying. Now, they said Karen Huger reported to court today out there in Montgomery County. That's not too far from Potomac, where she lives, her and Ray. Just her and Ray. It was no other cast members there or accompanied them or came even after them. So it was really no one from the show there to speak on her behalf at all, which I thought at least Wendy would come. I thought Giselle would come and maybe speak, since they have been knowing each other the longest in terms of the cast that's on Potomac right now. And because, they were cool before the show even started. But no, nobody from the show was there. However, they did say that her husband, Ray, did speak on her behalf, as well as someone by the, well, I didn't catch the name. They didn't say the name, but they said the daughter of Chuck Brown. Now, I don't know who the heck that is, y'all. I have no idea. But they did say somebody by the name, well, not by the name, but someone who is the daughter of Chuck Brown. I just happened to Google Chuck Brown. It turns out that Chuck Brown is a guitarist. He's a musician of some sort, older man, but I don't know who his daughter is. Maybe, the daughter actually knows Karen Huger, maybe lives out there where Karen Huger lives. I'm not sure. They didn't really go into detail about that. But yeah, that is the only person outside of Ray who did speak on her behalf. Now, again, they say she got a year. She could possibly do a little less with good behavior in jail. She's going to be doing it in local. She's not going to prison, if I'm not mistaken, but it will be the county jail. And she did get $2,900 in fines. We'll have to do a 5-year probationary period after her time served, as well as a house arrest. So they are really throwing a book at Karen. I think the judge out there is kind of tired of her having these DUIs. As I stated, she had 4 in total. Now, I'm not sure if this one is the 5th one or is this one the 4th one. But I did hear a total of 4 DUIs. And the judge was very, very candid with Karen. That is what they're saying. And the judge also said that Karen was filled to the gills with alcohol, honey. Like, he was serious. They said his whole attitude changed. He was a little somber and kind of passive until it got time to sentence Karen. And then he got stern. And that happened to me before during a sentencing, y'all. It was just for a traffic ticket, but he was all passive and this and that. And as soon as he got to me, when it came down to allowing me to make a payment plan for a couple of the tickets I had accumulated, or to have to pay them all, he kind of got stern on me real quick. and made me pay them all before I left. So I was like, dang, I was hoping for the payment plan. Of course, this is not the same judge as a judge down here in Michigan, but I'm like, I can feel that when they say the judge whole attitude changed and got stern. But yeah, y'all, she's gonna have to do 1 year or so. Hopefully she won't have to do the whole year. You know what I mean? Hopefully she'll only have to do like 6 months or something, or maybe 4. Let's pray for her. But anyway, I want to go and show this short clip. Hopefully I won't get copyright. It is the local news out there in Potomac. And if you guys want to drop down the comments, please do. I do talk back. Like the video and subscribe. And until next time, guys, ciao.
Steve, one of her castmates, the daughter of Chuck Brown, was there. I spoke to her on the way up. She did not testify. The only person actually testified besides Karen Huger was her husband, Raymond, who, I've got tons of notes, so I'm not going to try to read them here, but I will just kind of paraphrase, just saying that she was a good person, worked hard in recent weeks to try to make good on what happened in March of last year. Karen Huger herself, before the sentencing, told the judge she was sorry, that this was a wake-up call, that she was going to try to work hard on her sobriety, attend AA meetings for the rest of her life, and be an advocate for people not to drink and drive. The state had asked for 2 years of incarceration, suspending all but 6 months. But Judge Terrence McGann, he listened and seemed open to the arguments that Ms. Huger's attorney was making, but at the end basically laid down the law. He blasted the guidelines that the state and the judicial system here are kind of operating under, thinking that the punishment should have been more. They were very careful. Someone at one point was blogging on Reddit, so they told everybody, you've got to shut off your phones. I didn't turn mine off. I made sure it was silent. So that's when, as soon as the judge said, I'm not going to follow the state's recommendation, I'll sentence you to 2 years in incarceration, suspending all but 1 year. That the state was looking for 6 months in jail. He said, no, it's going to be a year. He said, you've had 4 offenses in the last 17 years. What are we waiting for the 5th before we actually sentence you to jail time? So as soon as they announced that it was 1 year in jail, I was able to sneak out a text to our producers. But we really stayed there for the rest of the way to see kind of what else was imposed. And there's something like $2,900 in fines and 5 years of probation once she serves a year in jail or prison. They were talking about her serving her time behind bars here in Montgomery County, but that after she gets out, after 1 year, she'll not be able to drive a car at all for another year. And then when she is allowed, obviously not to drive after drinking alcohol, and that she'll need an interlock device, which is something that her attorney was offering up right away, saying that if they could see it to either have her on home detention or just on probation, that she already was willing to install those interlocking devices and attend regular AA meetings. In terms of like her reaction, not too much. When her husband Ray stood up behind her to offer testimony to the judge, she kind of looked ahead, didn't seem to acknowledge him, and then at one point was wiping away tears, and then did look back at him before he sat down. It was a packed courtroom. There's a very large courtroom here at the Circuit Courthouse here in Rockville, which a lot of big cases usually have. This was in a smaller courtroom on the 8th floor, but it was packed. The judge allowed people to stand. John McCarthy, the state's attorney, who we'll hopefully hear from at some point, was actually sitting in a folding chair in the center aisle with other people. So it was a packed courtroom. No real audible reaction when the judge, harshly sentenced Karen Huger to 1 year in jail, and she didn't really react either. Steve and I had a chance, as I was walking out here, one of the jurors, a jury found her guilty back in December of driving under the influence of alcohol. She didn't want to go on camera, but said she was actually surprised by this verdict, and told me that was not really expecting the judge to come down as hard as he did. Again, his demeanor throughout, before he started talking, was very casual and cordial, and then he seemed visibly angry. And I have quotes in here. If you give me a second, some of the things that the judge said in imposing the sentence, were really harsh. There's all the details of the sentence. If you give me 1 second, he did mention, that there was some talk about her blaming her accident in March in Potomac on the fact that she had mixed anti-anxiety and antidepressive medications with alcohol. The judge said, you were filled to the gills with alcohol. And he blasted her for her behavior at the time of her arrest and scolding the officers. Before the sentencing, her attorney handed the judge 3 one-page letters that she wrote to each of the 3 officers who were on the scene last March 19th, right before midnight, apologizing for her behavior that night and thanking them for their service. Steve?
Just to follow up on Bob, you mentioned the possibility of her serving a sentence in Montgomery County. Did the judge give any further instructions as to where the sentence should be carried out? And second of all, does it start right away?
It does start right away. I spoke to John McCarthy as we were leaving the courtroom, because I wanted to get out here, and the judge dismissed everyone, but she was still standing there at the defense table. And I asked John McCarthy, does this jail sentence, whatever you want to call it, prison sentence, begin right away? And he said, oh yeah, it starts today. So she's going right to jail. And the judge mentioned, he didn't say like the Montgomery County Jail, Montgomery County Adult Detention Center. He said something about, you'll serve this in the state of Maryland, something, and then he said here in Montgomery County. So she is going to be, in a sense, a prisoner of the state of Maryland, but serve that, I can only presume, at the jail up in Clarksburg.